Welcome back. Prime Minister Alan Chastanet says job creation remains a top priority for the government, particularly during the COVID-19 pandemic. Prime Minister Chastanet is hopeful that ongoing projects, including those focused on infrastructure, will provide some much-needed relief for families struggling during these difficult times. Nisha Charles reports.
Since COVID-19 entered St. Lucia in March of 2020, the island has seen a significant decline in job creation, with businesses having to operate on minimal staff or close altogether. A vast number of St. Lucians lost their jobs. When the island's borders reopened in June, there was some hope of people returning to work, but the recent spike in COVID-19 cases has left residents worried again about their daily bread. According to Chastanet, government has endeavored to create numerous avenues for job creation since the pandemic.
We put another $20 million to support persons who are not contributors to NIC. But meanwhile, I want to say this, that what we've done is been able to add almost 2,000 new jobs in the call centers. Mm-hmm. So KM Squared, Grow, International Calls, ITEL BPO, Ojo Labs, all have been increasing the number of people they've been hiring.
Yes, sir.
Combined now with the amount of construction that's taking place in St. Lucia and reopening of the hotels. So a lot of persons, why are you reopening the hotels?
Chastanet maintains that tourism will remain an option for job creation once the protocols are maintained and COVID-19 is managed.
So a lot of persons, why are you reopening the hotels? And we're creating exposure and risk to ourselves. Remember, we opened it slowly, and we've seen that the protocols that we've put in place of pre-testing persons, protocols we have at the hotels, are working. And so it means that you have over 5,000 young St. Lucians who now got their jobs back. And even if it's one person getting income in a household, makes a big difference at this point.
Chastanet says that once the hotels can fully reopen, more jobs will be created.
I'm really disappointed what happened in the UK, because like Royalton was going to be 80% already full. I mean, we were just slamming out of the UK. We had more airlift, more airline seats coming in on a weekly basis out of the UK post-COVID than we had pre-COVID.
Okay, wow.
Right? So that was a huge blow to us, and so we're looking forward to that market hopefully reopening in mid-December, all depending on how things are going in the air. But so the combination of all of those things really is how we've been recovering. And these are jobs that we're earning money to be able to pay people's salaries.
Travel from the UK is expected to resume in December. For the Hot 7 News, Nisha Charles reporting.
Press and Communications Manager in the Office of the Mayor, Jason Hollingshead, says the upgrade and enhancement of the Derek Walcott Square is expected to reshape the city as the main recreation area accessible to all members of the public. The project, he announced, is nearing completion. Rochelle Gonzalez reports.
The Castries City Council has announced that the Derek Walcott Square, which was boarded up for the first phase of the square's upgrade and enhancement project at the beginning of October 2020, is near completion. The project was funded by the World Bank under the OECS Regional Tourism Competitiveness Project to reshape the city as a main recreation area accessible to all members of the public. Press and Communication Manager in the Office of the Mayor, Jason Hollingshead, gave this status on the project.
We could safely report that the project is currently at a 90% stage, and after dialogue with the contractor, we were informed that all major construction works of the project scope had been completed, and what's outstanding are some landscaping, beautification, as well as tidying up and doing some light painting. So we're expecting the hoarding to be taken down within 2 weeks, which is well ahead of the scheduled project completion time. And we must appreciate that this is only the first phase of that project.
Hollingshead addressed the concerns shared by locals of the threat of vandalism as the square's perimeter walls have been demolished. He said this is where national pride comes to play, and he implored locals to play a role in keeping the facility looking its best. He also indicated that city police will certainly be doing their part.
We wish to continue our appeal to persons to make the Derek Walcott Square their responsibility by keeping it clean, presentable, and by not being destructive citizens We have briefed our city police officers as well to be on the lookout during patrols, and we should not leave it entirely to our city police officers or to council. We as citizens should own up to it, and see to it that it is also our responsibility.
The press and communications manager said people can look forward to the second phase of the project, which will include a number of new features, including the relocation of the bust of Sir Derek Walcott. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Rochelle Gonzalez.
The government of St. Lucia, through the Department of Agriculture, continues efforts to support fisher folk around the island amid the impact of COVID-19. More in this report.
The global outbreak of COVID-19 has created many challenges for individuals in the fishing sector, including decreased demand, the unreliable market for fish, and reduced access to fishing. In an effort to provide relief for fisherfolk currently being affected by the pandemic, eligible fisherfolk will receive a one-time grant of $500 from the government of St. Lucia. Speaking at the handing-over ceremony for the relief program, Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Natural Resources and Cooperatives, Barrymore Felicier, affirms that the ministry will continue to work to safeguard the livelihoods of fisherfolk across St. Lucia.
Today, we are pleased as the Department of Agriculture, Fisheries, Natural Resources and Cooperatives to be part of the rollout and to deliver on our COVID response plan, and adjusted what was input support to now income support to the fishers. So initially the idea was to provide $900 worth of fuel to both our vessel owners, and since having consultations with the various cooperatives, we found it to be more equitable to provide that support to eligible fishers, boat owners and crew. So we see that it would have impacted a larger number of persons and created a greater impact.
Fisherfolk cooperatives island-wide have agreed to facilitate the payment of the grant to both members and non-members of the Fisherfolk Cooperative Societies. Vice President of the St. Lucia Fisherfolk Cooperative Society, Devon Stevens, expresses gratitude to the government of St. Lucia for ensuring the income support initiative comes to fruition.
When the stimulus package, what they actually decided on, the $900, it was more or less a voucher to the boat owners. When they revised it and they said that, we wouldn't have met we wouldn't have reached out to the crew and, given each fisher $500, each registered fisher that is, $500, it would have made a greater impact. And I want to, say thank you, Mr. Permanent Secretary, for that.
To qualify for the income support program from the government of St. Lucia, fisherfolk must be registered with the Department of Fisheries and also be captured on the 2019 to 2021 fishing license application as a boat owner or captain and crew associated with the vessel. From the Information Unit of the Ministry of Agriculture, I am Anicia Antoine reporting.
You're watching the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. Stay with us. There's more coming up after the break.